Hi, and welcome to this training module on feeding your baby. I'm Jay, and today we're talking about one of the most important and sometimes most emotional topics of the postpartum experience, feeding your newborn. Whether you plan to breastfeed, bottle feed, formula feed, or use a combination of all three, I want to start by saying this. You are enough. Your worth as a parent is not measured by how many ounces of milk you produce or how many hours you nurse. The most important thing is that your baby is fed, loved, and thriving, and that you feel supported in your feeding journey. So let's go over the different feeding options and how to approach them with confidence and grace. Breastfeeding, the basics and what you can expect. If you choose to breastfeed, know that it's a journey and it looks different for everyone. Some people latch their baby right away with no issues, while others experience challenges that take time and support to work through. What you can expect in the very early days. Newborns eat frequently, like I said, 8 to 12 times a day, because their stomachs are so tiny. That very first milk, called colostrum, is packed with nutrients and antibodies, even in a tiny amount. So think of it as highly concentrated. Your milk can take anywhere from 2 to 5 days to fully come in, and even 7 days. And that's normal. A proper latch, which is basically how the baby's mouth latches on your breast, not your nipple, the breast and your areola, is key to it's key to like experiencing a comfortable feeding experience. If you feel any pain beyond a slight initial tug, you need to reach out to a lactation support because it could mean that your baby doesn't have the proper latch that they need. And if they don't have a good latch, it can result in a lot of pain for you, even nipple damage, and then ultimately you stopping your breastfeeding journey. There are some challenges that come with breastfeeding, but there are also a lot of resources and support. If you're experiencing engorgement, what is that? Engorgement is when your breasts fill up with water or milk, and they basically feel like really hard concrete balls. What can help with that? Hand expression. So using your hands to express the milk out of your breast. You can also use warm compresses, and frequent feeding of your baby is going to help that. If you are worried about low supply, that's where hydration and nutrition are important. Hydration, frequent nursing, and skin to skin contact can encourage milk production. But remember, your output will vary from person to person. So one mama might pump 6 ounces of breast milk in 15 minutes, and another might pump 2 ounces in 15 minutes. And it's all dependent on your bodies, your breast tissue, your hormones, and what your baby is telling your body that it needs to make. So don't compare yourselves because you guys are feeding two different babies that have two very different needs. I mentioned this before, latch issues or pain. A lactation consultant or postpartum doula like myself can help you with navigating that. We'll provide you with advice on positioning your baby and different techniques you can do to make sure that they're latched properly. It is okay to ask for help. It is okay to need support. And if breastfeeding doesn't work out how you planned, you're still an amazing parent. So bottle feeding, whether you're using pumped milk, formula, or combining both. Bottle feeding is basically, it's like I said, it can be breast milk that you pump. So maybe your baby isn't latching, but you've chosen to pump, which is called exclusive pumping, or that's not an option for you. You can definitely look at formula, or maybe you've got both and you want to combine them. It's a great way to ensure that your baby is nourished while also allowing partners, family members, and other caregivers to be a part of the, feeding experience. I mean, even siblings can help. So pumped breast milk. If you choose to pump, know that milk outputs vary, like I said, and that's okay. What you pump is not a reflection of your worth. Storing breast milk safely is important. Make sure you label bottles with dates and follow the guidelines for refrigeration and freezing of breast milk. If pumping feels stressful or overwhelming, take breaks and listen to your body. Your mental health matters so much. If you're going to formula feed, it's healthy and a nourishing option. Modern formulas are designed to support your baby's growth and development, and there are different types: cow's milk based, hyperallergenic, soy, etc. So talk to your pediatrician if your baby has any sensitivities. And follow proper mixing guidelines, always preparing bottles with clean hands and sterilized equipment. Combination feeding, that means you're breast and formula feeding your baby. Some parents supplement breastfeeding with formula, and that's completely valid. It can take some trial and error to find what works best for you and your baby. Every day with a new baby is like peeling back the onion. You're not failing by mixing feeding methods. You're doing what works for your family. But I will say, in one bottle, do not mix breast milk and formula in the same bottle. But if your baby gets a bottle of breast milk in the morning and a bottle at formula at their next feeding, that's fine. Or if your baby has nursed on both sides and you are feeling exhausted and then you give you top off your baby with 1 ounce of formula, that's fine too. There's a lot of unnecessary division between breastfeeding and formula feeding parents. In reality, what matters most is that your baby is fed, loved, and growing in a home where you feel supported. Here's what's truly important: a baby who's gaining weight and content after feeding, a parent who feels supported and not shamed, a feeding choice that works for your body, your baby, and your life. If you ever feel guilt or pressure around feeding choice, remind yourself your worth is not measured in ounces. Your love is not counted in feeds. You are enough, exactly as you are. Feeding your baby is a deeply personal journey, and there's no single right way to do it. Whether you nurse, pump, bottle feed, formula feed, or switch between methods, what matters is that your baby is fed. Trust yourself, trust your body, and most importantly, give yourself grace because you're doing an incredible job. If you ever need guidance or just a listening ear, I'm here for you. You're not alone in this journey. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next module. Bye.